Hey guys, it's CRL Rosberg back at it again for another video. This time we're back for another round in Inside Line Racing League. That's all I would say, in Inside Racing League. We're here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix round 4, I want to say, of season 6. It could be, I think it's season 6 overall. This is like season 4 of Xbox. Baku, typically a good circuit for me. I think I had decent pace on the medium compound tyre, and I was kind of looking forward to.
Oh, now you fucked up.
I was looking forward to qualifying until I decided to crash on the outlap and didn't get a chance to do my lap. So I'm starting 14th on the lap I did on the hard compound tyres, which is annoying because my PB I did in practice would have got me 5th on the grid. And Snazzy Evening disconnected in qualifying, so I could have been starting like a net, what, P4? It's kind of shit that, but typically we make great starts, we make up a lot of places throughout the race. If you're new to the channel, if you're familiar with the channel I should be saying, you will be very much aware of this, but we have got 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Shocker, we get a perfect start. We're against a lot of people in the hard compound tyres. Nearly hitting the back of Zelchi off the start as well, as we're going to be tucking up behind the south. Alfa Romeo as my teammate Langman's gone spinning into the infield. Up the inside, so we've gone past Zelchi. Already we made up 3 places with the slipstream of Jason, and then the slipstream of João Pedro in Alfa Romeo. Are we going to make the double overtake 3 wide into turn 3? João Pedro giving us a bit of a squeeze, but we make the pass. Jason looks like he's getting past João Pedro as well, but he's going to go to the line, so Jason, I don't think, is going to slip his way through. Already, what, 5 corners in, we've made up, what, 5 places? I think there's 4 places. I've already forgotten. I'm too sick of the game, to be quite honest. That's the end of lap 1, so from 14th to 9th. Good start. It's sort of the start that I needed, because although Azerbaijan is a track where you can overtake, it's also difficult, because obviously you've got, if you're one-on-one against another driver, just wait until this big long straight and you can overtake them. But when you're in a pack, so like maybe 3, 4, 5 cars, it's almost impossible if you're at the back of it, because everyone is just slipstreaming each other, and the only 2 guys that, well, the only overtake that's going to be made is going to be between the person in the front of the group and in second of it. Typically it's going to be so difficult for maybe the 3rd place, 4th place. Oh, sorry, my throat's doing me dirty here. It's either like the 3rd or 4th place drivers, they aren't going to make the move, because it's just almost impossible to try and get that much of a slipstream. As you can see, that's what I mean. We're in a pack now. I've been in this pack for a good few laps. Reynolds, I think he's got wing damage, and he's just training up this group like it's, I don't know, like a bunch of people. That is terrible. Awful commentary there from myself, but John Pancakes, who's now at the front of the group, he's got past Reynolds. Like I said, he was the only one able to get past him. P1R Brown, he's actually a threat to us in 3rd of the championship at the moment. If you're not aware, we are P3 in the OLR championship. I'm also the 3rd best Xbox player according to something, F1 rankings I think it is on Twitter. Don't ask me about it, I don't really know how it works, but speaking of not knowing how it works, Brown's forgot what brakes are, and he ploughed into the back of, was it Reynolds? I'm not quite sure, it was either Reynolds or Jam Pancakes, and he's gone skittering off into the runoff area, and yeah, that's given us a free position at least. It says P4, we're not really in P4, a couple of people made their overtakes, some of the soft compound runners. As you can see, I'm on the medium, that's what I was going to do qualifying on, because I thought it's a safer strategy, because if you're on the softs, you had a very good chance of getting a puncture, either at the start or at the end of the race, so I thought I might play it safe and do it on the mediums, and I think overall I thought it was going to be quicker. As you can see behind me, Sarah is on the hard, so we've got to keep an eye over here. As you can see, this is another perfect demonstration of how difficult it is to overtake a car ahead when you're in a three-man train. But what we are going to be able to do is get the cut back on Reynolds. We've got the inside line. It looked like he was trying to move over, but it's not quite going to happen. He's got a car on his inside, and we can make the move stick. We're now in the slipstream of Jam Pancake's going to try and get close enough to make a move on him for the next lap, and see if we can make some sort of inroads on Infamous, who's ahead of us. But Jesus Christ, Reynolds and Sarah getting desperately close to me there, trying to outbrake each other and nearly fucking taking me with them. As you can see, next lap, Jam Pancakes, he is going to be our next victim on the overtaking list. In his slipstream, you know, bog standard, overtake, ridge, up the inside, easy as you like, and that realistically is job done, as we've got a warning that lap. Not quite sure what that was for, but it was probably for the corner cut. Teammate in the pits, that would be Langman, who started on the medium compound tyres. He had the spin on lap 1, as you would have seen. OMG, it's Joe has retired, so he's absolutely choked this race since he started on pole. But speaking of choking, we've kind of gone in a bit too high to turn 3, and we've decided we don't like having a rear end. So what is happening to me there? We're losing the rear end all over the shop. V-Sarah is now on our outside. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. We're just going to swing it in though. Sarah mounts the curve and nearly crashes into us, and he gets into a spin, but we maintain position. But we did end up losing the position to Jam Pancakes. But we're going to be pitting this lap, so there's no point holding up Sarah. We're going to pit anyway. Zelchi's left the session. Coming to the pits now, almost hitting the walls, and we have not slowed it down.
Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. What a shambles of a lap that was, or shambles of 2 laps, I'm not sure. Not quite sure what happened. I just seemingly lost my marbles for whatever reason. Decided my car just didn't want to have a rear end through a couple of corners. I thought I'd slowed that down to 50 miles an hour. I haven't really looked at the footage back properly to see if I had actually slowed it down in time, but the game's just thought, oh, you're at 50, but we ain't going to give it to you. Yeah, it's a bit funny, that one. But we have to get on with it. 5-second time penalty now for speeding the pits. Haven't had that in a while, but Jam Pancakes, he was quite far ahead of us, and he's actually managed to stay ahead after all my scuffling on that lap when I decided rear ends don't exist. He is now ahead of us, well, he was already ahead of us, and well, we've got to try and get past Jam Pancakes and break 5 seconds ahead of him. And at a track like Baku, unless you're probably a second quicker than the car behind, you ain't getting away. It's just the truth, because look at the slipstream, like we're past him way before the start finish anyway. But Jam, all he can do is just sit behind me, and he's got a free position if he knows I've got a penalty. He can just sit behind me the whole race, let me do all the hard work. He's got the fresher tyres, and just let me do all the work. So we caught up to the back of Jason, who's on the hards. He hasn't actually made a pit stop yet. So catching up to Jason, we've actually pulled away a little bit from Jam, so I knew what would help my race is if I get past Jason as soon as possible. Jam gets stuck behind, and he has to accept being behind Jason. So what we're going to do is overtake him just before the castle section. Not a typical overtaking manoeuvre, overtaking opportunity. But we just stuck it into rich and hot lap, and just, well, we knew we had to get the move done. Jason was probably in like medium ERS deployment. I just stuck it into hot lap, knowing I've got to get the move done. I had broken away a good amount from Jam, but I'm not even going to bother saying this Gamertag, but the Turkey Boy, I'm going to call him, has gone past me. He's on these medium compound tyres, and there was nothing I was going to be able to do about that. I've been fighting with him for a few laps in a bit of like a TT battle, I guess, just battle the lap times. I pulled away a little bit, and then I choked, and he got right back behind me again, so we're going to let him do the work now, since his mediums were going to be going off a little bit. But as you can see through here, Jam Pancakes, he's closing up. Albabal, I think was his name, because my preview screen is so tiny. He's just going so. What sort of line is that through here? He was just holding me up, and next thing you know, Jam Pancakes, he's back. So I was like, what was the point of me letting him past if he's just going to go this slow? Yeah, he disappeared half a lap later. Don't know how that happened. Just I cut it out of the footage, but through the castle section, he just took off. I was like, there was no seeing him any time this week. He just disappeared. And now, with like 2 laps to go, Jam Pancakes down the back of us after I was held up in the middle sector, and he's going to go past me into turn 3 up the inside. We're going to try and find the position, but we got onto the curb, losing the rear end. We've run out wide. Jam Pancake slips his way past, and there's no coming back from that unless we actually sent it at turn 4, which I'm not going to do because I'm going to put my car at risk and perhaps stick him in the wall, which we're not going to do. Jam Pancakes, he knows this is an opportunity, he's going to lose a position, but we have no ERS left because I was defending from Albabal. So coming into turn 1, we've got to brake as late as we dare. We brake a little bit too late, but fucking Jam Pancakes decided he didn't want to learn how the brakes worked anyway. So he's gone way off the circuit. And that's the race. 11 and a half minutes. Got down like that. Just not much happened in my race. You could see that lots of it was just cut out. Not a lot happened. It's a shame because Baku usually in league racing brings up a big surprise in races. I guess the biggest surprise is also getting the podium behind Zero and of course the king from 2019. Not Chaser Fries. P7 after the penalty. Jam Pancakes did get us back as you would expect, 5 seconds. So not great. I had a bit more expectation coming into this. I think with our strategy we had a bit more in the bag, but you know, we didn't have slipstream. But there are the championship standings. The Lottery surprise is by another 7 points ahead of Zero. Actually, maybe only 6 points because Zero might have got fastest lap. Not quite sure. But you can see it is looking like a bit of a pattern going on. Surprise and Zero have locked out 1-2s in every race so far. So it looks like, as you can tell from the gap from me to them, it's a bit tragic. But we are holding off P3 at the moment, extending our lead from P1 Brown, who didn't have a great race himself. But also brings himself into contention. We know Joe is very strong in the game and he'll make his presence known later on in the races. Varsity Ted as well is pretty good, and so is JD. That's basically it from ILR. I want to say a quick thanks to everyone for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I can't get the words out. Massive thanks to you guys for that. I'm going to try and get a video for that out at some point. It could be out in the next month, I don't know, but I'll try and get something out. But thank you guys for watching, thank you for subscribing to the channel, and if you are new and this is your first video you've ever seen, why not subscribe, I guess, for more league racing content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Cheers.